World Breastfeeding Week 2. First time Suru Krishe by the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action WAPA in 1992. Aro every year annually August 1 bra 7 day World Breastfeeding Week to celebrate kore. Iniga nishna World Alliance Breastfeeding Action launch campaign in collaboration with the World Health Organization and UNICEF to raise awareness about the importance of breastfeeding. Inega nishna aji Indian Academy of Pediatrics Nagaland State Branch kan bra the press conference rakhi ase conference hall Zion Hospital de at 3 p.m. on the theme prioritize breastfeeding create sustainable support system. Ahibi to laga press conference laga pore ami kan details precise hobo.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all the media friends, and I'm really thankful that you all could come within a very short notice. My name is Dr. Akam, and I'm the president of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics Nagaland branch. And we basically are celebrating the Breastfeeding Week. So Breastfeeding Week to Mohan every year celebrate kore, or the first week of August de Mohan celebrate kore. 1st of August to the 7th of August. Aro itu WHO, our World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action, itu pura milai gina all internationally itu celebrate kore. Aro in India, itu Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India connect association ase. So itu khan pura spearhead korina itu celebration to thake. So based on this theme, the theme this year is prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support system. So based on this theme, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics would want to emphasize on making breastfeeding practical and accessible. Sob ke accessible hobo lage aro we want to promote breastfeeding. Kiman breastfeeding kore iman bhal ase itu mohan awareness ekta karone itu press meet to matia laga ase. Aro again once again I would like to thank the media friends for coming. So I would like to also introduce my friends here. Here we have Dr. Solantang, who is the General Secretary of the IAP Nagaland, and we have Dr. Apong here on my left. He is the Treasurer, and my colleague here, Dr. Tamjan, he is a consultant from Bell Hospital Clinic, and we are here today to basically promote and create more awareness on breastfeeding. Well, breastfeeding is very important, and that's the reason why every year we celebrate this. Now, apart from the benefits to the baby and the mother, there is benefits to the father also. Kile gole puisa bhi save ho jay, because formula khan bhi expensive thake, so puisa bhi save ho idura. Our family laga financial economic big idura save ho jay. Itu no environment karone bhi bishi bhal ase breastfeeding. Kile gole the milk bonadam de bottles khan hobi, packet khan hobi, wastage khan idu packets khan aro environment dirty pura idu khan pura bhi sob ke bachai loi. So it is Amma ki bhi, baby ki bhi, aro baba, family, society, aro environment kan karne bhi, itu breastfeeding to bishi important.
Yeah, so breastfeeding though, process of breastfeeding itself bishi important ase. Khali milk ekla banai hoy, already process to be important ase. Itu baby la do mohan benefits to discuss korbo le, we can discuss maybe for 2 years. There is a special branch, people who study breastfeeding khali itu gone study for branch with lactation consultant. But in short, few points I want to mention. Itu very important points come to. It provides complete and natural nutrition as well. Though to breast milk to baby kone to boil korle na lage, you don't have to prepare especially na prepare korle na lage. Then to complete nutrition as that baby la protein requirement, protein, carbohydrates ki lage so milk is already as. And then not only that, baby specifically act as a milk to baby wa ki lage itu lage sabra amawa every mother produces different type of milk depending on the needs of the baby. Aro itu anu na brain korne bhi bishi important ase. So apni la every parent wants their child to be brilliant, and then every time academically bhi bhalo to le mun chahiye. So breastfeeding is one way you can help the child to grow, because the DHA gonna ARA gonna brain nutrients it one so pass to provide the well The other point is that baby immune system bhi help kore. Milk though is like first immunization diya nisna ase. Amala immunity ki whole lifetime ki immunity develop karna ase baby ki bhi transfer kore through the baby. And then those kun baby breast milk bal khai na rakhe to one long term health hone bal diabetes ka bhi kom de allergies ka bhi kom de to baby la bhi benefit porta ase. And then when we come to the mother, Amma Labi is not only for the baby but for the mother also. It's very important because it will Amma Labi recovery after delivery we help for it. Pain be controllable, bleeding be controllable. And then not only that, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, actually to cancer to more and more. So make all is now like so it also prevent it. It will high blood pressure, heart disease. Type 2 diabetes, Amma will also prevent for it. And then the other thing is, mother weight management going to be important. As I say, the mother doesn't have to gym these figure maintain you don't have to do all those things. Cholesterol, triglycerides, it can be reduced for it. So without any extra effort. And then the most important, the other important thing is emotional bonding. So many of us, many of the parents, time na pai pacharan bhi dibole time na pai na actually autism karan ADHD ko attention deficit ka to hum bhi ho jata. So one reason is that the emotional connect so through the breastfeeding to emotional connect. So these are the few important points and more we can discuss also. Acha itu also, though a part milk it produced from the brain in a way because kika baby was subtle correct. There are many hormones which the mother generates. So it will detect the more the baby subtle, the baby requirement is about. So let's say that milk the baby the premature baby was it. So premature money time no baby so milk requirement nutrition requirement they require more protein so premature milk or third milk to be composition not only the composition in fact daytime produce for milk night we produce for milk to be that's why kali daytime to go so it also to complete milk to buy so itu amal baby ki requirement ase itu la amara body by take korna itu la sabab produce kor so premature baby la mother kamado more protein produce kor
itu baby specific mane apni ita doctor temjen babe elaborate kora nishina baby khan to jodi preterm mane time age de pai je ekta term baby to mon kitia bhal ra 9 mahina bukhi na thakibo edu anki term baby after 9 months paisi gole olibi idula age bi pai jabo pare to inia baby kan to tai baby olibi ekta bishi chotu aro bitangor baby la majuti requirement to bishi alag ho jay aro ta regarding breast milk to idu ana premature baby khan la amabra milk to savoli do ki nisna dikhe olibi bitor bra microscopically size gole to bishi difference thake takan protein bishi lage edu kan protein composition inia aro baby to kitia dangor hogina jabo aro few premature baby to khai na olop moina bichi taibi taila time punchili do taila amala milk to hi naturally change ho jabo that is God's way of producing a very good nutrient for the baby as well as morning or evening la changes bi thake goi plus baby bra kita breast milk koribo first itia ekta session ekta boina tani sigoli to first ahala milk to sai sigoli to olop patla gorna thake because it contains more water and more carbs whereas aste sirwa khai na do after 10-15 minutes of breastfeeding khaya je to the first it to give 4 milk first agan hind milk thake so practical implication is that ki mon kita the baby ke olopi khai na rakhi dibo pare to first khai na bi to pura baby to tai nijor stop nokra da breastfeeding kro lage that is the whole point of this theoretical discussion 4 milk hind milk la this edu theoretically it be ase aro kita to mon bacha gan ke din di do or rati kan di convenient time di do formula khilai dibo din di do amagan kunbo do khali breastfeeding kro nia mix pi kri jay but we have to remember that ki din di khilala milk to ama ekta bra aichi goli bi milk la composition di difference thakibo so it's also very important that morning olibi din olibi as far as possible exclusive breastfeeding. That means you have to try to breastfeed your baby morning evening till 6 months tak to mon exclusive breastfeeding do it we advocate kore. So this is why we say ki it is in baby specific kodo taila baby la date time age hisab te amar milk to be produce kore.
Acha amikhan Nagaland lagato enaka statistics to naite do, but what we feel as pediatricians, we compare to the Indian national. If you see the statistics, it's around 63%. Now, when do exclusive breastfeeding, that is first 6 months, bacha do khali do de dia da. So in India, it's around 60%. In an ideal world, na so bacha do 6 months to do de khilabo lage, but it do ejabi hone. So it's around 60%. If you see in the whole world, if you look at statistics by UNICEF, it's around 54%. But on one hand, if you see na article do bishi do pada do hospital hai delivery was nearly 80%. But breastfeeding do it be common ase. On one side, if you see breastfeeding is culturally acceptable. Na sob mando breastfeeding do if you see our tradition cultural sob accept kore. But still kept to ase. We wish it will be better, but still there are a lot of gaps no to breastfeeding garne. If you see that the WHO recommend grado first 6 months to only breastfeeding, but up to 2 years tak to tooth khan khilabi na kana, along with of course after 6 months to breastfeeding korbo alag bhabe khilabo, but up to 2 years is the recommendation. You can oto barabi breastfeeding korbo para good na, no harm beyond 2 years also, but at least no, that is the recommendation. I think it's difficult to go into every detail, but there are some medication where we will say stop. For example, if mother to cancer ase gole to stop korbo, but if it is just a paracetamol or simple medication or antibiotic, we will not stop, we will continue. But for that, of course, the doctor can get what you like you. But for most, tawai khan to stop korbo na lage, except cancer khan no.
This is one of the most important point that we need to, or what we want to highlight also regarding breastfeeding. So the first thing I want to say, like just add on to what just Dr. Salan has also answered. Ki tai mon kiman tak breastfeeding kuro lage, kiman sal tak to exclusive breastfeeding guna ekta kotha thake, or breastfeeding. That means exclusive mane jonam din bra the day baby is born till up to 6 months khali breast milk ekla khilabo bacha ge, to pani bhi na khilabo and then food pe ko na khilabo. Ama laga breast milk is enough because it is a liquid diet, so tadi pani bhi thake, taila protein fats kan ki requirement vitamins vitamin sob pai jay. So itu karone exclusively itu khilabo lage. Oi bimar hoise bache to na kiba ekta hoile dawai khila to that is different, or dawai kan do pani di mix kurna diwole lagi jay. So that's a few ml of water which is we don't count as feed, but other than that baby should ideally be breastfeed exclusively till 6 months. 6 months onwards till up to 2 years tak bacha do 2 saal no tak to breast milk feeding to continue krubu koi, because tai to bacha do 6 months pichi to mon tai ge complementary feeding khana gan food can start krubo. That is culturally appropriate, nijor la tradition nijor la culture hisab te to start kore. Only itu start kora da 6 months pichi 7th month starting la din ba tage bhat khilai chule itu bra tai starting is do, so you'll eat 1 or 2 spoon, the baby may eat few spoon only. So still breastfeeding will be, breast milk will be the main food. Then onwards till up to 1 year pichi do aro 2 years tak tibi tai idu aste aste bai baby bacha ekta do mon bi jani thakibo ki bacha do 6 months ti do tai pura do nijor khai gena boi gena mon dia sob khabo na pare, aro idula majeti bimar simar bi sorti kasigan bishi ulai do tu dem aro bacha na khao je, because till up to 2 years do bacha gan idu viral infection choto moto bimar gan do tan growing up la bimar which we call idu bishi hoy thake. To idu time ti do tai khai thaga bacha ekta bi 1 saal ata bacha 1 saal already start kuna khai thaga bi iku na khao je. So that time breast milk is the only sustaining nutrition. So that brings us to the second misconception in our culture ki 1 saal ho bichi to breast milk stop kribi, which is totally wrong, because koan isna 6 months pra tai breastfeeding to continue kori ase, but 6 months pra tai ge bhat kha start koriche. To 6 months, from 6 months to 12 months tak ti to bacha ekta to phal bra khawole nei ki na thake. তো ইটোলা মাজতে আপনি ব্রেস্ট মিল্ক বি স্টপ করে দিছে খানা বি ভালবা না খায় তো ইউজুয়ালি তো বাচ্চা তো টিল নেক্সট 1 ইয়ার তো তাকে একু মিল্ক দিকে না থাকিছে বলে তো তাই স্ট্রাগল করা স্টার্ট করে তো বিমার আদম দি আমালা দুধ বি না পায় খানা বি ভালবা না খায় কইছে বলে তো তাইলা ওয়েট গেইন তাইলা গ্রোথ বেশি এফেক্ট করে so this is why it is one of the most important misconception that breastfeeding should not be stopped till up to 2 years to continue to be beyond 2 years pe continue to be there's no harm but by that time bacha to all grown up kuna thake independent hoina thake so mon idu cultural shaming about exclusive breastfeeding ek sal hoiche chhari dibi idura একটা কনসেপশন কি বাচ্চাকে দুধ বেশি দেরি খেলাইছে বলে তো আমা তো উইক হয়ে যায় তাই পাতলা হয়ে যায় ಇದು দিস আর অল মিসকনসেপশন বিকজ আম্মা বাচ্চাকে ব্রেস্ট ফিডিং করার আমালা হে বেনিফিট বেশি হয় হার্ম তো একটু দেখা না আজি তক তো দেয়ার ইজ নো সাইন্টিফিক প্রুফ অ্যান্ড দ্যাট ইজ হোয়াট ওয়ান মিসকনসেপশন উই হ্যাভ another misconception is that amado breast pala din the day baby is born amado milk to bishi aibo lage all of hanai guli to itu amado milk comti hoichibo na amagi pressure dia start kori ki I do khabi breast milk aibo but in the first few days after babies is born the mother will produce something what is called a colostrum to itu colostrum milk to be ಇದು normal milk nishna noi it's a very thick and then very rich in proteins and all these immunoglobulins fats kan thagaba aru it will be produced only in few ml 5-10 ml nishna thage which is sufficient for the baby mon babu ki idu 5-10 ml likla iman drop yo la idu baby do pet pota no hobo but it is not like that because it's quite energy dense so idu kan aru aste or especially first timer ekta ama ekta hoishi goli to tando experience mi nai और तंगला प्रेशर बेसी থাকে और स्पेशली इफ सिजेरियन करना डिलीवरी भी बेसी हो जाए सो इदु बिछि तो तंगला इदु मिल्क प्रोड्यूस करले तो इट बिकम्स क्वाइट चैलेंजिंग सो इदु दिस इज नॉट अ फैक्ट दैट दे शुड प्रोड्यूस मोर मिल्क आस्ते आस्ते बा होई जाबो वी हैव टू बी वेरी पेशेंट एंड considerate to the mother also another thing is that formula milk to na mon powder la milk kan ajikali lactogen kan ki bishi powder so manu jane so idu kan to kha to breast milk to bhalo la siguna kinoba the misconception thage ki मोला बच्चे तो इधर मोहन तो एक बार भी ताकि तीना ला पाउडर ला दूध खिलाना है तो लोग वीक हो ना ये सब मन भी दूध खिला से तो किपेक ता फालो हो ना ये ना मिसकंसेप्शन ताकि ऑफ कोर्स फॉर्मूला मिल्क तो बिया ला कथा को नहीं बट ब्रेस्ट मिल्क ना पुंचे ना थकी जाए और फर्स्ट स्ट्रगलिंग मदर दैन दी मोहन किते वो तो फॉर्मूला मिल्क तो भी चला बोली ले जाए बट दिस इज नॉट बेटर दैन ब्रेस्ट मिल्क सो दैट इज अनदर मिसकंसेप्शन बट डेफिनेटली आमाला दूध ना पाए और option nahi na gurula dudh khan khela start kore to idulla the formula milk to bhalo wala ase because cow's milk is not made for human babies especially in the first few months after birth so it is like counterproductive ho jay another big misconception is that ki ama gandu ekta ama hoise bhagwan bra apni ki baby diwoli la opportunity dise breast feeding to kuri pariboi lage ene bi concept consider kora pressure dia start kore ki आमा बाबा ग्रैंड मदर्स का स्पेशली कोई ना कि मोहन तो बच्चा का 10-20 मैंने 5-6 फैमिली दंगर पनाई छे लिए मोहन तो सब की ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग करे से आजिकली ला माइकी आंदो तो आंदो लब किबा कमजोर আছে ब्रेस्ट मिल्क नलाई गुना অলপ प्रेशर भी থাকে but it is not true कि it is a natural process but it is not like a fact that all the mother whoever are giving birth should be breastfeeding breast milk तो आइबोले लागे न because it is a nature but there are certain techniques certain ways to counseling can be divo lage now we are living in a world where even special lactation consultant can be thage jay so before delivery be after delivery and then breastfeeding ke support krule to doctor kan holi be nurses kan holi be and even general public awareness kan thagile do it goes a long way in helping the mother to start breastfeeding but without pressure and then another one thing is that ki mon ekta do breastfeeding la do idu dawai khala do arbi apni kan hudia do just for clarify ki idu bi ekta misconception ase ki ama gan bacha gan do bimar hoise guli ama gan ki khabo lage that's another very important question ki bacha bukhar hodise guli do ama breastfeeding kurabra taira mangso khawra nolibi itu khaise itu kurabra baby do bukhar bishi uthi ase do nolibi jaundice olaise guli do ama ekta chicken kha kiba kibi khawra idura enia ho ase do guna there's no scientific proof and in fact it is not true because these are just cultural mohan nijor la naga culture or assamese culture or hindu culture like western culture nijor la culturally appropriate inga taboo khan thake but this is not a true because why we stress so much on this is because bacha bimar adam di ama do already she is very conscious and very mane mon chuto gena bhui lage na thake worried thake to idula opore apni itu khabra apni la bacha bimar goli to it produces so much emotional guilt in the mother that idura breastfeeding to impediment hoy So this misconception should also be like a very big, we should need to fight by creating awareness. So these are the few misconceptions that we face commonly in day-to-day practice. Yes, definitely. Unless there are some medical doctor, which is quite rare, okay? But there are conditions which we will tell specifically to the mother, these are the things you should not eat because you are breastfeeding your baby. Even medicine also, most of the medicine that doctors write are breastfeed. If it's a good doctor, tic-tac doctor, breastfeeding then he will not write that medicine. So means to doctor, so it's usually safe. Another one thing, sorry, taking too long time, but baby bimar hua time de bukhar uthise kuli to ama to breastfeeding kuri ase to ama ki paracetamol khilai gena itura baby ki tawai do breastfeed pra jagena baby bhal hobo. That is also another big misconception. Just like ama to bimar hoina taila treatment bra bacha ki harm nokribo breastfeeding kurilibi because breastfeeding de ama la antibiotic ki tawai khado na jabo. It's a safe drug most of the time. Likewise, baby bukhar ase amar paracetamol khaina tage breastfeeding kuli itura baby ke paracetamol do breast milk pra jaina help kore. This is also another, that's why baby to bhali noy to serious bi hoi gena bi pai jay. So this is another misconception. Thank you for raising that question.
So just in addition to what my friends said, mohan 6 months tak to amala desi dibo lage. So in that process, see, mother ekta ama ekta kitia deliver kore itu ama bi man tired hoi na thake cesarean hobi ki normal delivery hobi, they are tired aro ta khan bi stress te thake physical ekla noi mental stress bi ho jay. On top of that ta khan support system bhal ra na paile tu problem bishi holai jay kile gole this year mokhan la theme tu ki ase gole da create sustainable support system. So itu support system tu kon ase gole da mokhan sob ase, society ase, family ase, relatives ase, neighbors ase. So idu karne idu support system dibole do mohan sob la responsibility ase. Instead of discouraging the mother ge idu nukuribi itu ki mana kura bura do mother ge encourage korina paribo de breastfeeding paribo de guna encourage kora bura takhan la stress release hoi jay. Kitia stress release hobo, breast milk produce kura la hormones increase hoi jay aro idu bura breast milk flow do increase hoi jay. Idu karne ama kan kitia deliver hoy takhan actually idu counseling do delivery kura laga age bura start hobo lage. Pregnant thakadam de bura takhan counseling start koribo lage, breastfeeding kina koribo, baby ki kina dhoribo, idu kan to start kurigina thakibo lage. Many times mokhan Nagaland de idu practice to iman do nai hoile bi mokhan idu bi catch up koribo lage aro hikibo lage. Aro once delivery kura piche de mother laga support to bishi dibo lage, relatives kan especially aro idu bura mother ke bishi boost up hoi jay, tala mental strength aro physical strength bi boost up hoi jay. Aro kwa sati khan bura kwa nishina khalwa de eko inika alak mana eko nai aro mokhan jani bole laga do itu bacha khan do baby khan do kali porsong ta khan mokhan la citizens khan hole ase, naga manu khan la future ase, India la future ase. Ta khan ke breast milk dia bura ta khan la IQ increase hoy, itu do ekdom proven fact ase. There have been lots of studies. Breast milk ekla kha bura IQ kiman increase hoy itu sob documented ase. Itu karone kiman mokhan la bacha khan, mokhan la society la bacha khan IQ bari jay, strength, immunity bari jay, iman mokhan la country, mokhan la state develop hogina jabo, advance hobo. Itu karone itu mokhan la future leaders, future citizens khan ke kinega gora mokhan ra bhal wala ta khan ke breastfeed digina best nutrition dibo, itu mokhan sob la responsibility as parents, as relatives and as a society. Therefore idu platform bura moi ko mon ja do breast milk to sobse best ase aro itu awareness to bishi important ase sob society karne.
There's no rule that every mother should produce 500 ml of milk every day. Now, maybe baby la requirement is money. Some baby might require less. Some baby do comfort. Some baby, even my son also is like that. So it will so one way we can help is as I talk about share stress to my iman pressure to milk to control. And the second thing is hydration, fluid in any type of chow, juice, ama ki prefer kore. Itu khaile to ama bhi dehydrated ase, ama bhi pani komte ase, to milk ko komte hola. So those are the basic. Nako, national AIDS control it you can breastfeed, but only one thing is that mixed feeding is available. either it should be exclusively breastfeeding or exclusively formula. So to the mixed because with mixed feeding there are more risks. Baby spread the chances.
Yeah, just to add to that, for that the mommy though should be on treatment, nah? We
Medication.
to tawai khai thakabo lage.
HIV la dawai.
HIV la tawai, nah? Then of course then baby also we give medication. If that is there and we will mommy laga HIV to control asna da ihan sai thakebo. Control ase kole do if not control then it's not advised. But if mommy la HIV do treatment hoik na control ase kole do if you see the latest guidelines of NAGO, National AIDS. So we look at the number of virus in the mother's blood, no?
Viral load.
Virus to come ase kole do yes it is advised.
The best is undetectable hoile bhal. Mother laga blood te undetectable hoile do it is very almost safe ase. So on top of that baby ki bi kunba dawai dibole olai jay. So itu prophylaxis bi koi mo khan na so that the baby does not get the infection. So overall in India or African countries this aise bole do prevalence to olop to high ase. Aru mohan la poor condition financially economically mohan olop poor ase. Edu karone breastfeeding do mohan dibole do bishi mon ki legole breastfeeding do nidile do idu amma baba do economically poor ase baby ki khilabole eku nai. Edu karone mohan breastfeeding do khilabole mon. But for that it would be better and best if the mother has already taken the ART or the treatment for HIV properly. Inya hoisu gole do virus to amma la dute ulawole chance bishi kom ho jay. Less than 1% bi kobo parebo. Edu karone undetectable hoise gole the almost 100% chance that the baby is not going to get the HIV from the mother.
So
And yeah.
Just to add on to that, no? So ultimately, though, it is theoretical discussion is now, but for practical purpose, simply first thing though, apni HIV as na na idu janibo lage amado. तो इधर करने एंटीनेटल चेकअप करना एक ता कथा था कि बिशी वाला तो अचानक पर आपने किते भी चेकअप कराना है बच्चा बुखी ना आज डिलीवरी कर लिया जिना हॉस्पिटल पर पेन उठी ना ऐसे गुली तो इधर टाइम तो हॉस्पिटल ऐसे गुली तो स्क्रीनिंग तो करे तो इधर टाइम थोड़ी सी गुली ना आमा तो एकु तावे किते भी लुगी ना थका ना ताई भी निजर भी ना जाने ना थकी चले इधर टाइम तो एकु ट्रीटमेंट ना तो आमा बेबी की तो मोहन ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग मने इधर एडवाइस ना करो होली भी जुदी अपनी आगे बढ़ा 3 महीना 4 महीना आगे बढ़ा अपनी प्रेग्नेंट हुआ पीछे ठीक तक चेकअप करना दे ठीक तक जगह दी जैसे बोले तो गवर्नमेंट से हुई प्राइवेट सेक्टर दी हुई इधर ब्लड टेस्ट का सब रेडी करना था तो जानी इधर टाइम दी आगे बढ़ा बच्चा बुखी ना फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स डिटेक्ट करना था किसी बोले तो ART को ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट करना था वो तो इधर टाइम दी ART सेंटर बढ़ा अपनी हला डॉक्टर खान कुन का नर्स खान बढ़ा साहेब फाल बढ़ा गाइड करो सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट चाहिए ना आमा प्रेग्नेंट आमा सब तो स्क्रीनिंग करो लाइक फॉर ईच प्रेगनेंसी लास्ट टाइम ना थकी दिस टाइम तो ना थकी हुई ना भी को क्वारंटाइन है सो जाएगी ना करी भी देन इतु पीछे तो अपनी एक बार डिटेक्ट करी ना इधर ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट करी तो हैंड होल्डिंग करो till अपनी डिलीवरी ला आगे बढ़ा अपनी की दवाई खावो लगे बेबी की भी आफ्टर डिलीवरी की ना हैंडल करो ले सब भाल बड़ा बुझाई दे सो इधर प्रैक्टिकली फॉर मदर्स दिवो पारे ना दिवो पारे तो इमान कंफ्यूजन भी नहीं हली भी बेस्ट तो अपनी आन करनी इन्हीं का जाएगा ना किबा दे साइले बाल बिकॉज नागालैंड इज द सेकंड मोस्ट highest prevalence in all over India. In Nagaland, after Mizoram, Nagaland is the highest HIV prevalence state. So these are very important questions that you asked. Thank you so much.
Just to finalize, I mean, if you go to the civil hospital, the statistics maintain correct. Till now, kunba if the mother is on the medication, no, bacha kan ekta bhi banai. Till now,
Yeah.
if mommy do HIV do paise, will be treatment ase kore to till now. Mami pra baja ke transmission to ita to ekta bhi nahi to even if they are breastfeeding also.
So in addition to that, since our theme is sustainable and support system, moi aro ekta additional point ko mon jado mukhan mothers khan ke privacy laga area bhi lage. So hospital de bhi hobi ghor de bhi hobi ta khan breastfeeding kuribole privacy area ekta bonai dibo lage. And nowadays airport khan de bhi they should have a privacy area for the mothers, lactating mothers, breastfeeding mothers. Airport hobi train station hobi, bus station hobi, offices khande hobi, they should include a place where ama ekta baby ke aram bora jagina without any problem privacy de itu breastfeeding koribo pare bole laga itu bi mohan awareness create koribo lage offices khande hobi kuti hoile bi itu khan janibo lage itu bi ekta problem.
তো ভিউৱাৰ্ছ আপুনি খান বি শুনি পাইছে এতিয়া প্ৰেছ কনফাৰেন্স লগাব পৰে এতিয়া 4টা ডক্টৰ থাকিছে তাহাঁতো সব পিডিয়াট্ৰিক্স ডক্টৰ খান আছে তাহান বাৰবি ভাল বা জানকাৰী জানাইছে কি বাচ্চা খান ইয়া আমা লাগা দুধটো খেলাব লাগে আমা লাগা দুধ নিচিনা নাই কৈছে ফ্ৰম 1 to 6 months to ভাল বা দুধ খেলাব লাগে এটো পিছতে বাচ্চা খান ভাত খা শুরু হইলে খেলাব পারব হলিবি ব্রেস্ট ফিডিং দু তাহান এডভাইস করা হিসাবে 2 years তক তো খেলাব কইনে আছে আৰু আমি খান ব্রেস্ট ফিডিং দু খেলাইছে হইলে আমি খান ইকোনমিক্যালি ফাইনান্সিয়ালি খান বি সেফ কৰিব পাৰে নহলে তো আমি খান ফৰ্মুলা খান খেলা দো ইমান ভাল নহয় আমা লাগা দুধ নিচিনা দো নহয় আৰু আইকিউ লেভেল বি আলাক হৈ গই নিবে আছে আৰু বাচ্চা খান ইনিগা আমা ব্ৰেষ্ট ফিড কৰা টাইম দে বিমাৰ খান আইছে গলিবি ইটো বা ৰেসিস্ট কৰিব পাৰে কই নিবি জানাই দিয়া আছে আৰু ইমিউন সিস্টেম বি ইটো প্ৰায় বুষ্ট কৰে কই নিবি জানাই দিয়া আছে আৰু ইটো ইকলা নগিনে আমা লাগা দুধ খেলা ব্ৰা আমি খান বাচ্চা খান লাগা গাও ভাল বি আমি খান বেছি ডিফাৰেন্সেস দেখি পাইছে হয় ফৰ্মুলা দো নাখাবি দুবি নকব আমা কোনবা হান্দু দুধ নাহে ইটো খান্দু খেলাব লাগে হলিবি দুধ আহি কিনে না খেলাই কিনে ফৰ্মুলা খেলাটো ঠিক নহয় কৈ কিনি বি জানাই দি আছে আৰু আমি খান ডক্টৰছ খান বা আমি গিটা বি জানকাৰী দিয়া হিচাপটো দু দুধ খেলাইছে কইলে আমা লাগা দুধ খেলাইছে কইলে বি আমি খান বিমাৰী খান বি নাহে কই আৰু ওভাৰৱেইট বি নহব নহলি বি অবেসিটি বি না যাব কইনে আছে আৰু আমা হান কাৰণে বি দুধ খেলাইছে কইলে আমি খান ওভাৰিয়ান ক্যান্সাৰ নহলি বি ব্ৰেষ্ট ক্যান্সাৰ দুখান বাৰবি চান্সেস কমতি হৈ কইনে আছে আৰু আমি খান দুধ খেলাইছে কইলে খালি বাচ্চা কাৰণে বেনিফিটস নহইনে আমা হান কাৰণে বি গাও ভাল হইনে হেলদি থাকে কই কিনি বি জানাই দি আছে আজি কাৰণে মান আছে ফৰ more news and update keep watching Global Window. This is your reporter Yaungamla with my camera person Anungai Jamir reporting from Zion Hospital Dimapur.